This is homicide. Oh, I'm not kidding, and I want you to open your head. In Christchurch, I want to go into a lie detector test. When I was there, I was groomed by grooming gangs to go out with a guy that was going to help me get a job. This guy is directly connected to my landlord. LA. What did he say to me? He's flipped my whole identity upside down. What was my conversation with this guy? Do you want to know what my conversation with this guy is? What did he say? He said something about me being through the war and flying this. He named the plane, the model of the plane that he was flying, this warbird. So there's a flag there talking about war and a flight. So there was a war, a civil war. Okay, the other thing is he basically said that he wanted to plan this future with me, and he wanted to know what my dreams were. I told him my dreams, and what has he done? He has gone and really recreated this elsewhere, and they are trying to contract and patent everything that I've said in these conversations with this guy in a very brief meeting where I got groomed into something. And the other red flag is I want to go under a lie detector about this. I believe he was injected with HIV, and when I went to go and ask about this, getting tested about it, because I said I'm worried I might have it, that my ex might have given it to me because he was sleeping around. He said, but when you go into the hospital, they test you. And I said, I can't. I said, if I go into the hospital, they don't test you for HIV. And he goes, yes, they do. And I said, no, they don't. I said, yes, they do. Like when we go into the mental hospital, they test us. And I said, yeah, they test us for like our protein levels and things like that, like our liver, if our liver and kidneys are functioning. That's what I think. I don't think that they were doing any STD checks, but he was really adamant, and he goes, no, they do. And he goes, I've just had this pack. And what happened was I went to the nurse straight away after, and because he said, I've already talked to them about it. I went to the nurse. She goes, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't do anything like that. And I said, what? And she was like, we don't do anything like that. And he had all these, I just realised when I looked at his door, he had all these jackasses all over his door. So he was setting me up. And that's what makes me angry about the whole situation, is his father came after me, taking away my divine love and my future by violently ruining my face. And I had all this silver put up my anus. And not once, but many times. And I want to know why they keep coming after me and ruining my appearance. When I said to somebody said, oh, do you want to date him? He wants to meet you in the hospital, and he was going to meet one of our hospital guests, our hospital fellow friend, or whatever you call them, in the hospital. I can't remember his name. He was like some meth head that he had been friends with, and he said, do you want to come to the hospital? And I said, nah. And he said, why not? And I said, I don't know. And I just had gone off him because I felt like he was full of, I just knew that he was not a genuine, for some reason I knew he wasn't genuine, and I was getting angry in the van going, oh, I'm so fake. Like, I think I was just talking to myself going, oh, I'm just so fake. Like, venting to myself, like, because I was kind of annoyed. I was like, he's wasting my time. I can't be bothered with this kind of crap. Like, I've got real problems with bullying. I've got real problems with not being able to get a job, and real problems with not knowing where the sex tape is in the beginning. And then all my friends fucked me over and went in public and said I was having a psychosis. And I also said to him later on, I don't want to be involved with you because I want somebody with substance. And all of these things that were like he had been taking from our messages and like pretending that their love connections were the words that I was using. So they were erasing who I was and using my kind of language about having substance and I want deep connection, all this kind of stuff. They were pretending that was them. But if you look at the kind of culture that was inspired, it's kind of like they are having actors that look similar to my friends, and it's all about being in the bathroom loo with cockroaches all around it. And I want to know, because I think that's what happened, is they threw everybody into a pit of me going to the toilet, and then just have erased that I was worth anything, like, in just 1 second. But before that situation, before Fleur built her McDonald's, I did have worth. I was doing my civil rights. I was looking for a job every day. So that father, in that case, came after me, and they're attached to a grooming gang, and they've made me a dog oyster all over this country, and have erased me having friends. I mean, who wants to take on LA? Can anyone help me? So there's a lot on the culture that's showing that the toilet is everywhere, and that the substance that I was talking about and being a cockroach was all the start of the genocide. And there's a lot of my conversation with him about who I was as a person that has been manipulated to that it's some other girl, not me. Because at the time I just said, I can't be bothered dealing with you. I want somebody with substance. Like, I was just so, I want to be educated. I don't want to deal with you because I want to be educated. So what have they done? They've made them all into massive education groups, and I've been banned from my education. And that's what is making me very angry. Is so, why is Ruben going and getting more education? Why am I not allowed to progress? Why is this whole family doing all this violence to me, not allowing me to progress? You've got a genocide in each country, like, that I go to, and are denying me the right to have my education. And all of a sudden, how much education has Kiki got? How much education has John got? How much education has Poppy gone? Did she go back to university? Why are you denying me for the goal setting that I did in that period? And then I had trauma because there was sexual violence that happened, and I was denied the right because Kayla, as she's the bear, went around and told all these places I was a liar. So I don't know if she's part of this LA too. And so they just went on that I was Oscar and grumpy. And it wasn't. I was traumatized. And right now I might be dying of cancer. And right now I might have AIDS, and they're covering it up. And I feel like they denied me the right to have an AIDS pack because I asked all these places and they wouldn't give me one. So why did they give him, why would he say to me that I don't have AIDS? He goes, we went to the mental ward, we got injected when we got here, we won't have AIDS, because they would have checked it, and they said, we've never injected you when you came in. I don't know where you're getting that from, and we don't do AIDS checks. So for me, him saying that is a really big red flag, and for them putting silver up my anus so that I'm ugly, and to keep me isolated and alone, and so he's sitting at a table with all my friends and family causing mass genocides. There's a lot of stuff in the culture about it, and you're making out that I'm lower class, but I'm not. You're actually just holding my life hostage, and it's actually my depth, it's my substance. I really had core values that really were respectful, but you just want to beat me down in front of the world, and it's actually my identity in my head. It's the things that I valued, and it's the time I spent learning about what matters in life, and then you just destroyed me making Lucy the substance, but it's my identity. And just threw me into, you guys threw me into the toilet, and then I got told, you need to know that this is money laundering, and they're actually sending this toilet video everywhere, and then building this massive housing cartel, and they're burying all the money into the houses. So is that true? Because I want my freedom. Like, I'm being abused a lot. Like, and I'm being called grumpy, and I'm being filmed and blackmailed in my room. I'm denied the right to talk. I actually got kidnapped from my mum's house in the middle of doing a business so that Poppy can be a star and label me as fucking ugly and grumpy, and I don't like sex. They've ruined my vagina. Where's my health care? How come Kiki's whole business is not allowing me to have hospital care? And they're saying I owe her trillions and trillions of dollars. It's a crime against humanity. You can't do that. And this Elizabeth killing me in that warren that I'm mentally ill and I'm dark and I'm the opposite. I'd gone to massive healing and meditative schools and sat there and was healing other people, and around you just made everything like LA, and then it didn't make sense. The world didn't make sense anymore because you kind of hid a lot, and you've really ruined my skin again, and I want to know why you're doing it to me. And I didn't have an obsession over Ruben. I asked all my exes for help. All of them. That's why they're all in a massive group bullying me out of my own life. It's like you're actually taking everything from my life. It's abuse. It's really abusive what these cops are fucking doing to me.